Hey everyone, this is June. Hope you're enjoying your summer. Just a quick note before we dive in. This episode was actually recorded back in early May, so some things we talk about here might feel a little outdated. It was kind of an experiment that we were trying out while Daniel was away on a trip, and we weren't quite sure when's the right time to release it, and so we think now might be a good time to. We'll see you soon after our break with our regular episodes. And now, on with the episode. Hope you enjoy. Hey everyone, this is June,
And I'm Pyeongchan,
and we are Korean.
Canadian.
Hey everyone. Hi Byeong.
Hi, Hyung.
So today we have another special guest. For the audience who might have been listening to our previous episode, we have Byeong again.
Yeah.
Do we call you Byeong or Pyeongchan?
Actually,
You
this
said
is one of those
Pyeongchan.
things that I spoke about in my previous episode about how I introduce myself. We could just call me BC. I think
BC?
BC. Yeah.
Who calls you BC?
I think most
Amongst
people who I meet here in English call
Oh.
me BC.
Oh,
Yeah.
So okay. So
So,
we have BC.
yeah.
Oh, we never called you BC in
I
our
know,
previous
I
episode.
know.
Okay, but you're BC from now.
Okay.
So we have BC here. Super happy to have you back.
Yeah.
And we'll have to explain why Daniel's
Oh
not here
yeah,
today.
yeah. Okay, so just so that the audience is very clear, right? So I was on the pod about a month ago, and I had such a great time, and I shamelessly self-invited myself, and so I was bothering both
Which we're
June
very
and Daniel.
grateful about, by the way.
Right? I was
Yeah.
like, "Yo, can I come back?"
Yeah.
And so they graciously kind of accepted me back, and then Daniel Hyung, he's traveling this week, so
Yeah.
I'm just subbing in for him. I don't know. I kind of feel like this is like a 소개팅 slash test run.
Why is it a sogeting?
I don't know. I just feel like we need good chemistry.
Oh
right?
yeah,
So
I think we will definitely will have good chemistry.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but thanks for having me back. So I guess the title of this pod is Korean Canadian today.
Yes.
Not Korean American.
Yeah. And also to add on to that, last time when we had you on the episode, you had so many great like stories and ideas that you wanted to talk about.
Right.
But we ran short on time, so we had to like just cut.
Yeah.
And so that was very kind of 아쉬워.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The good thing about recording with you is that I can say things in Korean a little bit.
Yeah, but I do feel like we do have to explain it to the audience, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, since the last time I was here, and just kind of growing on the topic from the last episode, there were three things that I think happened to me since
Oh yes.
the previous episode
Yes.
that I talked about then, right? So very quickly, the first one is I went back to Hong Kong.
Yes.
Right. So we spoke about Hong Kong in depth, and I went back. I mean, obviously, this could be a whole entire episode on itself, but one thing I really found was Hong Kong's changed.
It has.
Yeah, it's changed. I don't know what has changed about it, but it definitely got more fancier. But it definitely
Oh,
got more
interesting.
Chinese as well.
Oh.
And I
How
think
long has it been since you've been there?
not long. Maybe about a year and a half.
So
right?
this is an observation
that I made this time.
that
right?
you had from that 1.5 years?
Yeah, I
apart?
think so. I
Oh,
think
okay,
so.
okay.
I think for me, a big part of the trip was just like letting go of the nostalgia now, right? So it was more of like a introspective trip, and I got to see some really good friends. I have some godchildren over there, and so that was really really good. One thing I found to be really interesting is, long time ago, Hong Kongers. Again, this is very generic, but I found Hong Kongers were very, they had a disdain for mainland China, right? Especially because of NSL and
Yeah.
the things that were happening. This time around, I found it to be a lot more embracive.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was there over a weekend, and people were telling me that they go up to Shenzhen for the weekend more than they expect Chinese people to come down to Hong Kong for the
Interesting.
weekend. Yeah, so
Interesting.
they say that service is much better. Food is so much cheaper. Just everything in general over in Shenzhen is better. So I feel like overall there's just been
Wow.
an embrace of Chinese culture over there.
Why
so
do you think that shift happened? Like, is it?
I
Yeah.
think after COVID, I think just Hong Kong
Mm-hmm.
just kind of got hit really hard, right, with domestic policies and whatnot. And then when they saw that China has developed, right, especially in the last 5 years, exponentially, and things just got a lot more easier and more convenient over there.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I do feel like there are more mainland visits happening from the Hong Kong side than there were, 5-6 years ago when things were getting a lot more tense. So that was one thing. The second thing is the last time I was here, I was wearing a Maple Leafs hat.
Yes.
Right. That's my hockey team. And I've been following them since I was a kid. They finally made it to the Stanley Cup finals, the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Wait, sorry,
and-
what's the Stanley Cup?
the Stanley Cup playoffs is like the championships.
Oh,
Yeah, and so over the last, I don't know, like 25, 30 years, well, first of all, the Maple Leafs haven't won a Stanley Cup since the 60s, right?
oh, really?
Yeah.
So it's a big deal.
But I mean, they always make it to, or they frequently make it to the playoffs. The thing about the Leafs is we are notoriously known for, tripping up, right? And so like basketball, we play 7 games, it's best 4 out of 7, and the Maple Leaf habit is that we'll be up 3-0 in the series,
Yeah.
and then lose 4-3.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And this time we were up 3-0. And
It's
we
so
lost.
fascinating that it always happens.
And so we're so bearish on it, right?
Yeah.
Like we're so bearish on the Leafs.
Yeah.
But this time they did make it to the second
Oh,
round.
awesome.
We made it to the second round for the first time in like decades, consecutively. So 2023, 2024, and 2025.
Yeah.
We made it to the second round, and we're playing the same team.
Ah.
We're playing the same team who eliminated us on the second round, right?
Which is?
Florida Panthers. So
Oh.
they're based out of Miami. So so there's a bit more hype this time, right? But like the general sentiment with the Leafs is like this happened twice already, right? Like we're so low expectation, right?
Oh, really? If I were to be in that position, it would be like we have to. It's like a comeback.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna beat you this time, kind of.
Like the third time's the charm kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you thought that this time would be different for like 30 years, right? it's like the Hanwha.
Oh, yeah.
Do you follow baseball?
A little bit.
Yeah?
only. Yeah.
Okay,
But I know the reputation of Hana.
I hope there are no Hana fans who listen to this, right? But it's this yeah. So anyway, so I thought that was very interesting. And the last thing, sorry, long intro, but the last thing is Canada went through an election.
Oh yes.
And so the acting prime minister, Mark Carney, he officially won the election, and now he's the official prime minister that was fairly voted in. And the interesting thing about that is I mean, we could talk about Canadian politics for an entire episode, but he up until February. I think the conservatives or our 보수당 was poised to make a landslide a victory, and especially after
Because of Trump and everything.
because of Trump,
Yeah.
right? But then, ironically, because of Trump and the negative impacts that it's had, people thought that he was just going to be another conservative politician like Trump.
Oh,
And
that's
so-
interesting.
Very interestingly, he lost his seat. So in Canada, we follow the Westminster political structure, and basically there are electoral districts, and you have to win that electoral district. And
Sorry, there's a Westminster. What?
the Westminster political structure is just the same thing as the English Parliament.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're very knowledgeable on
No, and
these things.
and so funny that the leader of the Conservative Party, he couldn't win his own riding.
Ah.
And so he lost his riding. A lot of the conservatives they lost their riding. So
What's a writing?
riding is their electoral district, right? So they have to win their electoral district for them to be sent to the capital.
I see.
But then they lost that.
I
But
see.
he lost it. But he's the party leader,
Yeah.
right? So the prime minister is just the leader of the ruling party, but he didn't even get voted into the party, right? Into the
Can
ruling
you
party.
still be a leader of the party if he's not?
I don't think so.
Oh, you can.
Yeah. I mean, like he could be a leader, but he won't be a sitting member of parliament.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So I thought that was very interesting, especially because Korea is going to go through our elections as well here, or your elections over here, right?
Because I think it's the same case of in Korea when the former leader of the Conservative Party, 국민의힘,
Yeah.
was Han Dong-un for
Yeah.
a while, and I don't think he was a member of the parliament.
Oh, really?
I don't think he was.
Okay.
I don't think he was a 국회의원,
Okay.
as far as I know.
Yeah, maybe not. Yeah. Which I thought was kind of interesting. Speaking
Yeah.
of Korean politics, I think Choi Sung-mok stepped down yesterday.
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. And so
You
So
follow like international, like Canadian politics and Korean politics and American politics.
just those three things that are
I
relevant.
barely
to me,
follow
right?
the Korean politics.
But yeah, no. So I thought that was kind of interesting. This year there's going to be a lot of elections that are happening across the world, Korea included. Australia's coming up, and I think that Britain just went through theirs not that long ago as well. So overall, there's this like change of political landscape,
Yeah.
which I think is kind of interesting from a cultural perspective as well. Yeah.
Speaking of, Korea's going to go through a presidential election early June,
Right.
So it's like especially in the Conservative Party, where they lost their president, kind of impeached their president. They're going through like the internal election phase right now.
Right.
I don't think they decided on a person yet.
Yeah, so I think the Korean system follows the American system, right? Very closely.
Yeah.
And so we call that the primaries, right? Just finding the political candidate for your party.
Yeah.
Right? But SNL has this great, some of the
SNL
funniest.
Korea, right?
Yeah, SNL Korea.
Yeah.
Some of the funniest clips that I've seen recently, where Ji Eun, she's one of the members of SNL.
Yeah.
She like interviews like the political candidates for a 편의점 job, right, for a convenience store job.
I saw a couple of clips on
Oh man, they are so funny.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, so I thought that was very interesting. Speaking of which I thought was really good is that the 3rd of June is a public holiday,
that. Is it?
right? For elections.
Oh, I thought it
Right?
was the second, or is it third?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which I think is great. It makes the nation go out and vote, right? It's like, okay, you don't go to work, but
Yeah.
you should go and vote,
Yeah.
right?
Wait, is
and-
that not the case in Canada?
No.
Oh, it's
no,
not?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Which again, so you have to like find your time, find your to go and vote. Yeah, I think that's just really good civic engagement, right? To have the whole country to go.
Yeah.
And it's great for me because I don't get to work, but I don't have to vote either. right?
You have
So-
no voting rights.
Yeah. As a foreigner, I'm a 외국인, everyone. I'm a straight up 외국인. So,
But you have voting rights to like certain elections, right? As far as I know.
I think municipally I do.
Uh-uh.
Yeah, that I don't know. Oh no, sorry, municipally like city votes.
Yes.
I don't, but 구.
Oh, cool.
I think 구장. I think
구의원
yeah, 구의원.
or 구청장? you
Yeah,
mean?
구청장.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, you have voting rights for
I think so.
구청장.
Yeah.
If you are a resident of that
of that 구, yeah.
then you have voting rights.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, which I think is pretty interesting. Right? Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway, sorry. So those are the 3 recaps from my previous episode.
Awesome. Yeah, it's not a long intro at all. We usually go about like 20 or more minutes
Okay,
usually
okay.
on an intro, but we're at 15 minutes so far. So
Okay,
that's not
good.
that's not a long intro at all. It's very you introduce a very different color
Oh,
to the
really?
podcast,
Oh.
which in a positive way.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, you have a lot of you have
Yeah.
much more depth in knowledge.
No, it's all.
I'll try to even it out a little bit. But anyways, I think it's very good.
Yeah.
Anyways, today's not a politics episode
Yeah.
or a Hong Kong episode. One of the things that I found very interesting about your background is that you have very deep knowledge, as you do with many things in the world, probably, but especially towards language.
Yeah.
And I really wanted to cover that last time when you were on the show,
Right.
but we didn't have time. So when I asked you, like, what do you want to talk about in this episode, you suggested something related to language.
Yeah.
And like more specifically on like common phrases and idioms of Korea and English.
Right. Yeah. I think my biggest learning coming here as a foreigner was probably around language, right? So language is one of those things that that evolve very quickly, especially here in Korea.
Yeah.
And well, as many things, right? But Korea has a lot of roots in Chinese. And having been in Hong Kong and kind of connecting those dots with hanja, right, and somewhat Chinese culture, I feel like kind of really set the tone a lot in here in Korea, or at least for me to like learn Korean. Similarly, over in English, so Canada, we're bilingual, right? So you have to learn French and English, right, until a certain age. So English is also a hodgepodge of different languages, right? Whether that be Greek, Latin, French, German, or whatever. And so once you start understanding those roots, I feel like it just kind of broadens your understanding of the language and how language evolves through generations and through time and through different contexts, right? I think was always so fascinating for me. So there are things that I learned in Korean thinking that they were 표준어 or like standardized vocab, or things that I would learn that people will use in context, or that people will use in context that I did not know, that will be very ingrained in its origin story, right? So just like a really funny random example that I could just think about on top of my head right now is the word 수저.
수저.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought 수저 growing up was just the spoon,
Oh, that's so interesting.
but it's really sukgarak 젓가락,
It is.
right?
Yeah.
But
But I think that's something commonly even Koreans mistake. Some
Oh,
people
really?
think that it's a spoon.
so I learned this the hard way because I was at kimbap 천국, and you know here in Korea where you like open up the
drawer.
the drawer, right?
Yeah.
And there were no spoons, right? But there were just chopsticks, right? So I asked the ajumma, I was like, 수저 달라고, right? I was like, 이모 수저 없어요, right? Or there's no 수저. And so she came with chopsticks and spoons, and she looked at the drawer and she was like, 젓가락이 있는데, right? And so I was like, yeah, but I asked for a spoon, right?
Interesting.
And then that's when my friend was told me that 수저 actually means 숟가락 and 젓가락.
Yeah.
So I feel like in our common vernacular or in our common language when we speak, the Korean way of speaking right now has a lot of borrowed words from different cultures traditionally, and the way that it's evolving, right? And so when you speak with the young people, like they'll use these terminologies that as a foreigner, like if you don't know Korean, like I don't know whether it is something that's new that they just like made up, it's like a new evolution of language, or whether it's something that like most Koreans should just kind of know, right? And so yeah, I mean, I thought that would be a really interesting kind of starting point, right? For these episodes. But then, I think one thing that we need to be careful about is just not making it into like a learning episode.
Yeah.
Right? It's just somehow tying it into what context is being spoken about, in what cultural context, right? And stuff like that. But
You're so structured in the way that you're laying out this thing. It almost like, it's as if you just like went through a brief of like an abstract of your thesis that you're about to talk about.
I'm a English lit major,
Yes.
right? And so which I did not know that like 전공 is such a big thing here in Korea.
Oh, is it
Right?
not in?
Oh yeah. I mean, what you majored in or what you studied in Korea usually kind of sets your path into your career, right here in Korea. But I don't know, just in the Western world or in the US or in Canada, for example, everything's very generic, right? So like I studied English comparative literature.
But sorry, people who did English literature,
Yeah.
no offense, don't, their 전공 doesn't really matter.
That's why I went into finance. Right?
Even in Korea.
Right, yeah.
Because like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah,
Like,
no, exactly,
Yeah.
right? But I think in a way that's also very. It's kind of like how you build your career after that, right? It's just like, it doesn't matter whether you studied literature, right? Like, are
Yeah.
you capable of doing this job,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Yeah. So, but I agree. Liberal arts in the U.S. is just stupidly expensive, and you don't end up with a lot of jobs, right? So a lot of my friends actually ended up going to like grad school or became lawyers, right, and stuff like that. But
So, what are some examples of the things that you heard from the younger generation
oh,
that?
that yeah. So I think this is like from way back when, but even something simple as
Oh, ah.
right? Is iced americano, right? So or something like 얼주가,
얼주가.
right?
Yeah.
These are all terminologies that came up like 10 years ago. So like if you tell an MZ that and like you feel cool about it, they're like he's such a 아저씨,
Yeah,
right?
like a boomer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, the most recent one that I heard that I just told you was my cousin. He's a university grad, and he called me a KBS.
Yes.
Right? KBS is 개백수. Right? So, which 백수 means unemployed or like
Yeah.
a bum, and 개 just means a dog, or it's a hyperbolized way
Yeah.
of
Exaggerating something.
Yeah, exaggerating something. So,
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I am a 개백수, right? But I can't keep up, right? But one of the most interesting ones that I learned when I first got here was 죽이 되던 밥이 되던.
Oh. Yeah.
So, do you want to explain what that means?
죽이 되던 밥이 되던 is like no matter what the result is, kind of. Literally means whether it's gonna be rice or like congee.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think a common thing about cooking rice is that if you don't really pay attention to like the amount of water you put into
Yeah.
the rice and like how long you cook it, if you like put too much water, it'll become like a congee type of consistency.
Right.
But if you do it right, it becomes like the rice thing.
Right.
So I think it's referring to that kind of aspect, but also, yeah, the meaning is that whatever the result
Right.
might be. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think like you nailed it in terms of how I understood it. But I just thought it was such a funny expression, right? So like Jun said, it's like you're unexpected of what the result's gonna be, right? And so you're just gonna do it, right? The English equivalent will kind of be like do or die, right? You break it or you make it,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
You don't know what the result's gonna be, but you do it anyway.
Yeah.
Right? So I thought that was really interesting. Another one is that I think it's very similar, but I couldn't really figure out the nuance. Was 뭐 아니면 도.
아, 뭐 아니면 도.
So I thought that 죽이 되든 밥이 되든
Uh-huh.
is very similar to 뭐 아니면 도.
Oh, yeah, I think you might have. It's very reasonable that you
Yeah.
interpret it that way, but it's like a very different meaning.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so like when would you use both of them?
Both of them?
Or when would you use each one of them?
So
in
I
what
think
context?
you very well explained when you use 죽이 되든 밥이 되든. It's like just do it whatever the result might be. But then 뭐 아니면 도 is explaining how the result might be in two very different extremes, right? It's either going to be very good or very bad, something like that.
Yeah, so I guess that also means break or die, like
Oh, I see. I see what you
do or
mean.
die kind of thing, right? But I guess like the nuance will be
I think the first one is more focused on the execution part of
Right.
like you're going to do it
right.
regardless of the results. But then I think the latter one, 뭐 아니면 도, is more focused on the result.
Right.
Yeah. The result's either going to be super good or super bad.
Right. But it won't be like a heads or tails kind of thing, right? Because heads or tails don't have that result of 대박 or fail, right? So I feel like, let's say that you're starting a business, right? And you say 뭐 아니면 도, right? That means like, hey, this product is either gonna like blow up, right? It's
Yeah.
gonna be super awesome,
Yeah.
or it's just gonna like fail
Yeah.
miserably.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
Whereas in the 죽이 되든 밥이 되든, I think you're right. I
Yeah.
think it's probably the process, right?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah.
like, let's just do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it no matter what happens.
Yeah, it's
right?
more focused on like the willpower
Yeah.
of like I'm gonna
Yeah, I think so.
power through
yeah,
this
Yeah.
regardless of what's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, the origin of 뭐 아니면 도 comes
Yeah.
from this traditional board game, Korean
Right.
board game called Yunori.
Yeah, you know it, right? Yeah.
And do is when so you basically throw 4 sticks, and depending on like how many sticks are landed on like one side or the other, you can go one step. Imagine like in a Monopoly kind of situation.
Right,
You
right.
can go like one step, or you can go up to 5 steps.
Right.
And the one step is 도,
도.
and the 5 steps is
뭐.
is the 모,
Right.
which is considered the best.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So yeah, exactly. So in that case, I don't think it's like two extremes where like, oh, it's gonna be the Republican Party or the Democratic Party, right? That's a heads or tails kind of situation.
Yeah.
right?
It's more of
this
a
is like-
degree of things.
Yeah.
It's
So
kinda-
there's like the success rate.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, we're gonna crush it.
Yes.
Or we're gonna get absolutely hammered.
Yes,
Right?
yes.
And so I thought that was a very interesting thing. I couldn't really kind of pinpoint where the difference is.
It is very interesting how, and it's so reasonable that you think that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also didn't realize that the order matters in the saying.
Oh,
right?
you can't say 도 아니면 뭐.
Yeah, or
you can't say 밥이 되든
죽이
죽이 되든.
되든, right?
Yeah.
And so I feel like that's where I get caught, right? So like I'll try to use this in context and sound so fluent,
Yeah.
right? And then I'll mess up, right? By saying it the other way, right? They're like, okay, I see what you're trying to say,
Yeah.
but that's not the way that you see it, right?
Similarly, what I found as an interesting phrase in English is like apples and oranges.
Comparing apples to oranges.
Or like this is like apples and oranges. Kind of.
Right,
Like
right.
They're meaning that they're pretty similar, isn't it? Apples and oranges.
I understood it. See, again,
You're
this is
probably
no. This is probably why we need Daniel here because the way that I understood it is like it's something that's uncomparable.
Oh yeah, I think
Yeah.
that's more clear. Yeah.
So like, they're both fruit, but you can't compare them.
Yeah.
Right.
But in my mind, it's
Yeah.
like why specifically apples and oranges?
Oranges.
They are very comparable in my mind. They're different in color,
That's very Korean of you to kind of like
Different
think
in-
it, right?
different in taste. But also similar, you can't say oranges and apples.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So I feel like there is definitely like an order of the ways that these are kind of whether it's generational or whether it's through time,
yeah.
right? It's kind of sent down. I think apples to oranges is kind of like like they're both fruit,
Yeah.
and they're both edible, but like at the end you can't compare them because they're just so different in its innate
Oh,
culture.
it means that it's because it's so different.
Yeah.
You can't compare them.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I thought.
What did you think it was?
I thought it's because it's too similar. There's no reason to compare them.
Oh.
Also, the stark difference is what matters.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Today I learned.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the difference that kind of yeah. So like when you say like, oh, do you like chocolate or um do you like chocolate or do you like pizza?
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's okay, they're both edible,
Uh-huh.
but they're very different in
Okay,
nature. So
okay.
like like you can't ask someone, like whether they like pizza or chocolate,
Interesting.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that that's where the apples and oranges come from, right?
Mm.
Yeah. Another one that um, I thought was really funny was um, 등장 밑에 어둡다.
아, 등잔 밑이 어둡다.
Ah, see, I said that wrong. 등잔 밑에
밑이.
밑이 어둡다.
Yeah.
Do you wanna explain what that means?
So a 등잔 is a very back in the days when we didn't have electricity, as far as I know, it's like the candlelight. I think
It's a lamp.
It's a form of candlelight lamp. And whenever you turn that on or like lit it up, there's always a shadow that's casted right below the lamp.
Right.
And when you say 등잔 밑이 어둡다, it means like when you're trying to find the cause of something, it's often that it's very close to whatever you're seeing almost.
The literal translation is it's dark under the lamp,
Yes,
right?
yes,
yeah.
yes.
So if you have a lamp, for those people who are on audio, you probably can't see my hands, but you have a lamp, and then underneath that, it's dark underneath the lamp, right? I was trying to think about an English equivalent. I just couldn't. But I think it comes from
It's kind of like the root cause was right here all along.
right. Yeah,
And we
yeah,
were
yeah.
looking at something.
Yeah, it's so
Yeah.
obvious,
Yeah.
right? It's so obvious that you're blind spotted
Yeah, yeah.
by it, right? Yeah, maybe blind spot's the right word. Yeah, I don't know, but like these are very interesting common phrases that are used in common Korean culture, that I found to be very interesting, right? Because people will just kind of use it in common day vernacular, right? Vernacular meaning, it's just everyday speech,
Yeah.
right? And so I thought that was always really kind of interesting. Now, one thing that I thought was also interesting was something that's very cultural to me, is so in Korean we have 사자성어,
Yes.
which, do you want to explain what 사자성어 means?
It's a combination of 사자 성어. I think literal translation might be like idioms made out of 4 words.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So like four letter idioms or,
Yeah.
or whatever.
It
And
usually consists of 4 Chinese characters. Yeah.
yeah, and I think that kind of goes back to how Korean kind of evolved from Chinese language,
Yeah,
right? And
Do they have them in actual Chinese culture though?
yeah,
Oh, so it's a Chinese thing.
yeah.
Oh, it's not something that we use Chinese. Like it's not a Korean thing where we just use
Yeah,
Chinese.
it's not like a borrowed word. I feel, right?
So if you say like common 사자성어 to a Chinese person, they would understand what it means.
If you I would think that yes, if you
Write it down.
explain it in like hanja. Yeah, right? So then they would know what that means,
Yeah.
right? Unless it's a very Korean one, right? So like
What's a very Korean one?
like Korean one is like 함흥차사.
That's so unexpected.
Do you know?
I don't even know what that means.
Oh, okay. So this
I've
is
heard of
fascinating.
it. Yeah.
So, man, this is gonna be like a history lesson. But 함흥차사, 함흥차사. Okay, so in the
So surreal learning 사자성어
from
from a Canadian.
no, but you know what? When I first got to Korea, it was COVID, and so I spent a lot of time in museums, and just like learning
Yeah.
Korean history. But 함흥차사, it comes from like the 1300s, there was like a new kingdom, right? Called Joseon.
Uh-huh.
And the founder of Joseon, his name's Taejo or Lee Seong-gae, and his sons go through this. His sons go through like a fight, like a struggle, right? And what his third son ends up doing is he starts like killing his brothers, right? And so the founding king, he exiles himself, so he resigns from the throne and he exiles himself to Hamhung, right, which is a region in North Korea now.
Yes.
It's where we get hamhunnaengmyeon from, right?
How do you know these things?
And he goes to Hamhung.
Yeah.
And so when the son becomes the king, right, he sends envoys to ask his father to come back. And still outraged, the
Founding king.
the founding king, self-exiled, would shoot the envoy with an arrow, right? So that he doesn't have to talk with him, right? And so the word hamung chasa literally means hamung, which is the region. Chasa means envoy, right? Or messenger.
Yeah.
And so, so it would be that the king will send all these messengers and they will get no response. So it's basically someone who ghosts you, right?
That's what it means?
Yeah, right? It means that you say something and then you don't get something in return.
Oh, I've heard of that. It sounds very familiar to me, but
Yeah.
I don't think I ever learned the meaning of it.
Yeah, so it's when you say something and people either ghost you, right? Or the common word now would be 일십. Right?
Oh, that's awesome.
Right? But
Yeah.
I guess 일십 in Korean cultural context,
Yeah.
right? So like things like this, I don't think that Chinese people would know, right? Because it's very rooted in Korea.
Yeah.
But I feel like there are a lot of Chinese words, which I was going to get into, that they would know. And that's based out of what we were talking about was 삼국지. So I feel like 삼국지, which is a Tale of the Three Kingdoms, great historical context. I feel like all Korean guys, they bond over one of three things. One, military. Two, soccer. Or three, 삼국지.
I would add two more.
Oh, what would you add?
Slam Dunk and Dragon Ball.
Ah, yes.
In my generation, at least.
Okay,
Yeah.
slam dunk. Yeah. So I guess I'll put slam dunk in the soccer category,
Yeah.
right? For basketball. And Dragon Ball, I guess my generation was more Pokemon.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 88.
Or Piper? You're my generation.
Yeah, Dragon Ball, I don't know. I think Dragon Ball Z, we did not do Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball Z was a big thing,
Yeah.
right? So that was a thing when I was like in grade 7 or 8. So it was later.
But were you in Korea at the time?
No, I was in Canada.
Oh, that's why.
Yeah.
I think it's a very Korean culture that everyone read Dragon Ball at some point.
So did you read it in mana or did you?
Oh man, like this reveals like how old I am. But when I was reading Dragon Ball, it was actually being like it hasn't ended yet. Dragon Ball Z.
Wow.
Yeah. And so there used to be like this very thick comic book like compilation type of, I would say, magazine. It's like this thick.
A magazine this big.
Yeah, it's all comic
okay.
book.
Okay.
But then like there are Korean comic books and like Japanese comic books all together compiled. I don't even know if it's just like copyright wise legal if I think about it now. But anyways, it was called like IQ Jump.
So it's like the cliff notes of wait, what was IQ Jump?
It's the title of the magazine.
Okay,
It was
okay.
IQ Jump, and then it's a compilation of many different comic book episodes. And like I don't know if it was like a monthly thing or a seasonal thing, but it'll like, anyways, it's periodic. And on the very back of IQ Jump, there was a Dragon Ball, the latest episode of
Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that's how I consume Dragon Ball.
Okay.
Yeah.
But did your parents like buy it for you or?
They must have, because I don't know how else would I. Yeah.
You would've-
Yeah.
But when you said that it wasn't finished yet,
Yeah.
like how?
So every, let's say it was like a monthly thing. I don't know how Yeah, I don't know the cadence of how frequently it was released, Dragon Ball. Yeah, I'll run to the 문방구 and ask the 아저씨 if there's a new IQ Jump out, and then I'll buy it. I don't know how much it was. Anyways, the interesting thing about Japanese comic is that you read it the other way. You don't read it from left to right. You read it from right to left.
Yes, yes.
So the way that this is probably boring to a lot of audience, but anyways, the way that the book is made up is that like probably like 80% of the content is Korean comics. So you read it from left to right, and then the latter 20% you read it from right to left.
So
But
interesting.
but I only used to buy the whole thing just to read
The back.
Dragon Ball. Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Right? No, that just reminds me because there are sometimes when you go around Korea and there are things that are written,
Yeah.
like you don't know whether it's
Left to right or right.
left to right or right to left, right? So I'll give you an example. My family, they took me on a trip when I was like in high school, way down to Gyeongsang, and
경산?
Gyeongsangdo, right?
Oh, Gyeongsangdo, yeah.
And I forgot where we were, but and on the hillside it said 산불 조심,
Yes.
but I read that 심조불산.
Because it was the
It was written backwards to me, right? So I was like, oh, I remember I asked my dad, I said, Dad, what is 심조불산, right? And he was like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then later my mom was like, oh, it's probably because he read 산불 조심, but it was written the other way.
that sounds very unusual to me.
Oh, no, this was so this was like
Maybe it's like the like purposely written the other way for people who are driving and watching it through the rear view mirror to read.
maybe, I don't know. But
I've never seen something
really?
like that. No.
Oh yeah, so it became like this like big joke in the family, right? About
심조불산?
심조불산, right?
Interesting.
But, yeah,
Anyways, 삼국지.
yeah. No, so 삼국지, it's this like, it's based on historical context in China. I feel like every guy has read some form of it, right? Like when you get a whole bunch of guys together, like they will honestly talk about 삼국지, or at least people that I know,
Yeah.
right? And so I think that there are a lot of words that come from 삼국지 that are used in everyday word now that everyone kind of knows, right? And one of my favorite is 계륵.
It comes from 삼국지?
Yeah, right. So see, so like but
I know what it means.
but
Yeah.
you wouldn't have known that the origin
Yeah,
is from 삼국지, right? So do you want to explain what 계륵 means?
I don't know the origin in 삼국지 context, but 계륵, I know that it literally means the rib of the chicken. And I think when you cook a chicken, the rib part has very little meat
Yeah.
there. So it's like you don't want to throw it away because there's some meat there.
Yeah.
But it's like it's tedious to nibble onto it.
Yeah.
So 계륵 refers to that phenomena where it's like you don't want to like toss it out completely,
Yeah.
but it's like, but you don't really want to have it either.
Yeah,
that
it's
right?
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's completely it. I remember that when I was working, people will use this in very common, frequent contexts.
Yeah.
So like, they will talk about me or another guy as being 계륵 in the like singles market, right? Like you don't want to date him, but but you also don't like kind of friend zoning, right? So I thought that was really funny, but yeah, 계륵, or when we make a product and we put a lot of resources into it, but it doesn't kick off, right? Then a little part of you is like, I don't want to throw out this product, right? Or I don't want to throw this code away. But like maintaining it, right? It's not worth the resource,
Yeah.
right? So it kind of means like, yeah, something that you don't want to have, but you also don't want to throw away, right? Which at the end kind of like, yeah. So I feel like in like the product design kind of perspective, right, there are a lot of kelux, right? But you're right. It literally translates to chicken rib,
Yes.
and it comes from like a military campaign, right, where one of the main characters, right, where he thinks about whether he should retreat, right, or whether he should keep on fighting, right, and he says that the battle is keru, right, because what he gains out of the territorial gain, right, is like makes him want to do it, but at what cost, kind of thing, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so. But I feel like that's something that's very commonly used, right? Keru is something that's very commonly used. I'll do one more. 초지일관. Yeah.
Yes. I know what it means.
Yeah.
Does that also come from
Yeah,
삼국지?
yeah. So this is a 삼국지 based one.
Ah.
So this one I learned from my dad. Yeah, but it comes from 삼국지. Do you want to know?
I don't know what it literally means. Probably has to do with the country 초. Is it? Or is it grass?
No, it's the beginning.
Oh, beginning 초. Anyways, it means when you're very consistently like not changing your mind. Yeah.
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 No, that's exactly it. So it's referring to loyalty or something that you're committed to.
Yeah.
Right. So in the context, it would be like 초지일관이다, right?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
like, you're 너는 초지일관 되게 심하다, right? Or 강하다, right?
Yeah.
It means that you're almost to the point of stubbornness, right?
Yeah.
That you that you keep or you maintain a certain kind of tradition, right? So it was used in terms of in 삼국지. There's so many betrayals and backstabbing and trading and things like that. And so 초지일관 just talks about the loyalty that these three characters have for each other, right? It's that they're not tainted by, or they don't make compromises, right? And so, maybe the word comes from like not compromising, right? I don't know if integrity is the right word, right? But so these are all common terms that that I feel are used in common context that I think is very different from what like the MZs would kind of use, right, and try to teach.
Oh,
right?
I see.
And what my grandma used to teach me, right, as well.
Speaking of MZ, as much as I love Korean language, one of the things that, of course, like language really very extremely dictates the way that you think, I think. And therefore dictates the way that society works. And one of my gripes about Korean language is 존댓말 and 반말.
Yeah.
That like honorific and non-honorific. What is there a word for non-honorific, by the way?
No, I think it's just casual
Yeah.
honorific. Yeah.
That creates like this sense of hierarchy, and it dominates the way that you interact with people, right? And you always have to set this hierarchy because of language, and I think a lot of that has to do with the 높임말 thing.
Yeah.
And I once thought about a scenario where Korea decides to ditch 존댓말 and
존댓말?
반말, and how would it be, right? Would everyone be speaking in 존댓말, which is kind of awkward to me?
Yeah, yeah.
And but you can't really say 반말, right?
Yeah.
I think some Korean people think that English words are all 반말, but I don't think that's true. It's the concept is just non-existent,
Right,
right?
right.
I don't think they're speaking in 반말 nor 존댓말.
In English.
In English,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
neutral.
Yeah.
And speaking of MZ, like the Gen Z people in my workplace, I think it's like an internet or like a texting culture, but they would say they're like 12, 13 years younger than me. And all of a sudden, like they would come up to me and say like, 점심 드실? I'm like,
Right.
it's like mind blowing to me.
Yeah, yeah.
I know what it means.
Yeah.
And
But like, how do you feel?
so instinctively, I'm like, what the F, right? Like, these people are so weird. Like,
Yeah.
뭐뭐 하셨음? Right? But then I started thinking about, oh, maybe this is the type of like middle ground language that we can use to eliminate 존댓말 and 반말.
Right.
It's so interesting. Like,
Yeah. I would have first gone to like if I heard that I would be like, man, I'm like I would have slapped them on there, right? I think that this is something that Daniel and I would speak about quite a bit is having grown up with traditional parents in the U.S.
Yeah.
Like we kind of feel isolated, so we just learn the way that that the '80s parents kind of teach us,
Yeah.
right? And so I'm very konde. I am super konde, right? So
in what way?
so like if I heard someone come up to me and say
점심 드실?
점심 드실, right? The first thing I would say is like, 야, 내가 네 친구냐? Right? I would say like, am I your friend?
Yeah.
Right? And so, but that's so funny because 드실 and
Right? It's like
드실 in itself
literally
is
like half 존댓말, half 반말.
yeah, right? Yeah, because 드실 is an honorific, right? But then the way, man, I don't know how I will feel about that. I will feel very, I'll feel very bothered
Yeah.
by it. Like when you say like what, like I don't like it when someone waves at me.
Like this?
Yeah, and they're
You need people to bow to you?
no, not bow, but like I don't even need them to bow, but like just the waving thing for me is like too casual. So like I don't mind if they don't use the honorific, but I mind if they like
So you mean people who are younger than you
yeah,
if they
right?
wave at you?
Yeah. Unless I'm like super close with them, they're like, oh, 안녕하세요, right? Then like that's fine, right? But if someone if like someone in my workplace, right, who's younger than me, right, they'll say like, oh, 안녕, right? I'll be like, 다시 하라고.
Would they say 안녕 to you? 안녕? Or would they say 안녕하세요? 안녕 is like totally 반말 though.
Yeah. I mean, there are like there's this one character at work, and like she's just such a.
Are you sure she's not listening to the podcast?
No, she certainly isn't. But yeah, I mean that's so interesting because it's so half and half, right? It's so half and half. But I'm definitely more on the Gonda side. So if I was to hear that, but maybe you're right. Maybe that is like the way of transitioning.
Yeah, people are gonna talk
right?
that way maybe.
Yeah,
But
maybe. And then
산책
we'll
가실?
해보실? 해보겠? Right? I think I may do that in writing.
Text
Yeah.
context.
But
Yeah.
but more as a I don't know. Because I see myself kind of absorbing that a little bit. So I'll be like, 그래야겠. Right? 너 이거 할 거야?
그래야겠음.
그래야겠. Right? But I don't know. I kind of feel like even 방송 now, when they have like, you know, like the subtitles or like additional written commentary, like they do use terms like that, right?
Sometimes.
Yeah, right. So I don't know if they do it in a comical way, but if a 띠동갑 to me says 점심 드실, right? I don't know, man. I would sit them down and smack them.
Speaking of which, you just mentioned like waving is too casual. And if you observe Korean people very carefully, there's a version of waving that's the equivalent of 점심 드실. Which is like neither too casual or
이거?
no, it's this. You, you rarely see people doing this. Only to friends. But let's say like a coworker context, they would do this.
With both hands?
Yeah, because like one hand feels too casual. And Nelson, who was not on our show.
Oh yeah, the Brazilian guy?
Yeah. He, I think, very humorously covered this in one of his shorts. But he observed that Korean people do this. And after seeing that,
Do you see it?
I see myself doing it too, and I see everyone doing it at the workplace, like 안녕하세요, like with two hands, because this is too casual.
Yeah. I think on top of that, even to go further, something that like bothers the living crap out of me,
Yeah.
right, is, and I don't see guys do it, but I see more girls do it, is when you like wave, and then they do this. and when they
It's like
when they
it's
shake
like the
their head,
doridori.
right? Yeah, right. Is they shake their head, and I remember I asked because I was so offended, right? Because I'm saying hi to you and you shake your head. What the heck? And they said it's because they
Have
can't wave
something,
back,
yeah.
right? So
They have something in their hands.
yes, they have something in their hands.
Yeah.
So then, but they want to wave back.
Yeah.
So that they will shake their head, and I was
Yeah.
just like, you could just do the neck nod.
Yeah.
Like just do the 안녕하세요, right? Like
Yeah.
that's fine, right? But to shake their head, I don't know why that bothers me so much, right? But I see girls do it more. Right?
I think, yeah, I do agree that it's more commonly observed with the females. And I think it's because it's kind of cutesy. And sometimes they do it intentionally.
Do they?
I
Is
think
it 애교? But for me, 와 완전 정 떨어졌어. Right? But I don't know. But yeah, I mean this. Yeah, I guess so. Right? The double hands. Right?
By the way, that expression that you just used, 정 떨어졌어,
Yeah.
is also very, I think, a culturally rooted expression.
Yeah. In what way?
Because, like, the concept of 정 is
Yeah.
already a very Korean concept to begin with.
Yeah.
And when you say, oh, 정 떨어졌어, it means
Yeah.
that, like, how would you describe it? Like, I lost all 정 to you, kind of?
It's like a turn off.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, right? It's like a turn off. The turn off, but like, I think in English when you say that something's such a turn off, right? There's like a little bit of the sexual part of it
Yeah.
as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like I used to be so attracted to
Yeah.
her, but it's such a turn off,
Yeah.
right? Like, it means that like you would no longer be attracted to them. But yeah, I feel like 정 떨어졌어,
Yeah.
right here. It's very
It's like I lost all.
정.
I lost all, like, sense of humanity
Yeah.
towards you.
Yeah.
Maybe that's too extreme, but anyways.
Or like
yeah.
or positive emotions,
Yeah.
right? Or sentiment,
Yeah.
right? But yeah, I do feel like the 정 떨어졌어 is
And
such
there's a 줄임말 for that. 정뚝떨? Have you heard of it?
no.
It's like 정이 뚝 떨어졌어.
I'm gonna write that one down. That was good. 정뚝떨?
Yeah.
That's so funny.
정뚝떨.
See, so like, I think what's interesting is like I would hear these abbreviated words, 줄임말, and then I won't know whether that's a 사자성어 or whether that's just like something that
Yeah.
is commonly used,
Yeah.
right? So like that's why I feel like, that's why I feel like I go deeper into
Yeah.
these terminologies, right?
Yeah.
There was one that like sounds like 사자성어, but it's actually not.
I have one.
Oh.
내로남불.
내로남불. Yes, that's what it was,
Yeah.
right? So 내로남불.
It's short for 내가 하면 로맨스, 남이 하면 불륜.
Yeah.
It means that if I do it, it's romance, but if someone else do it, it's adultery.
Betrayal. Yeah, adultery. Or, yeah.
It means that, like, how would I describe it?
It's like being hypocritical. Almost,
Yeah,
right?
it's like
Yeah.
whatever you do is like a good thing, but if someone else does the same thing,
Yeah.
you would say it's a bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if I do it, right? So like if you're cheating,
Yeah.
right? Then like if I do it, then
It's romance.
it's like romantic,
Yeah.
right? But if you do it, it's like an affair.
Yeah,
right? It's
yeah.
like a sin, right? Yeah. So I think 내로남불 is one of those that I was like, it must be 사자성어,
Yeah.
right? And then I have one more that I really like. It's 토사구팽.
토사구팽.
Yeah,
Yeah.
토사구팽 is literally translates to rabbit hunting dog discard. Right? Yeah. So it means 토사구팽 is once you fulfill. It's basically being used.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It's like once you fulfill a certain duty, then you're no longer valuable. Therefore, I'm gonna discard you.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
it literally translates to the hunting dog that caught the rabbit
Yeah.
eventually gets eaten, right? Or gets
Discarded.
discarded,
Yeah.
right? And so it's used in,
I
in
love how you interpret it to eat.
yeah, sorry, sorry, right? Um, but yeah, I mean, it's like you employ something,
Yeah.
right? So, I used to think. So I first heard this in my banking job, where we'll lay off a whole bunch of people, and the people who got laid off will say, "Ah, 토사구팽 당했다고," right? Um, and so, I think that that's when I was like, wow, you know what does that mean, right? Kind of thing. But yeah, there was this one guy who was asked um, to train people over in India, and so like they sent them on like this like, oh, you're gonna have 2 months, right, of like of 출장,
Yeah.
right, and stuff like that, and it's a great opportunity for you to went, trained up people, came back, got fired.
Oh,
right,
man.
And so he was like 토사구팽, right? I was like, dang, dude, that's harsh.
That is harsh.
Right? Yeah, but I feel like that's one of those very interesting things as well.
You also want to talk about like English phrases that Korean people commonly use.
Yeah, I recently found out that this is not English per se, but lotte.
Lotte.
Yeah, do you know where the word lotte comes from?
I actually do.
Yeah,
Charlotte.
yeah.
Right?
I
From-
learned this last week.
Yeah.
yeah,
I don't know the original title, but
Yeah.
젊은 베르테르의 슬픔.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a Van Gogh book.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the heroine. The main character is called Charlotte,
Yeah.
and I think the founder of Lotte,
Read the book.
for some reason, was
Yeah.
very inspired by that,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Yeah, and so I found that out because I went to go watch something at the Charlotte Theater
Ah.
in Jamsil, right? So there's a place called Charlotte Theater. And I was like, oh, why is it called Charlotte? Why is everything that's big here called Charlotte? And then someone told me, and I thought that was really, really interesting. Okay, so English words. So I'll just do a few words that we were using in context here in Korea that have different kind of meanings. And so after COVID, there were a lot of words that we used. One of them was curfew.
Curfew.
Yeah.
Oh, you're saying Korean people use the word curfew?
No, it's the terminology curfew, or at the time it was called 통행금지. Right?
Yes.
And that was something that came up. But the word 통행금지, right, which means curfew,
Yeah.
right, has its roots in French. Actually, yeah. And so this is actually one of the few words that I knew that was very French based, right? But long time ago, in France, in like medieval France, right, the city would ring a bell for people to put out their fires, right, so that it doesn't burn down the wooden houses, right? And that word literally is couvrir, which means to cover, and feu, which means fire, right? And so at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock every day, they will ring a bell, and that's when people would have to turn their fires off. And so the word couvrir le feu ended up being curfew, which is where we get the word term 통행금지, right?
Interesting.
But we used it here because Korea, for a while, had curfew, right? We had
and,
curfew for
up
COVID.
until like yeah, there was literally a curfew up until like the early 80s. I believe.
80s, yeah, that's right.
Where you can't actually go outside
Right.
past like
8 p.m. or whatever, right?
I don't know if it's 8 p.m., but like probably like maybe past midnight or something.
Okay.
Yeah. 통금.
Yeah, 통금. Right?
Yeah.
That's 통행금지 shortened,
Yeah,
by the
yeah.
way, for.
Yeah.
But that was because of martial law, long time ago, right?
Was it, or
yeah.
was it just the way that we operated? It was because of martial law.
right? So martial law was another word that kind of came up here in Korea,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
It's keom,
Keom, yeah.
right? Martial has its word in has its roots in Latin, right? So Mars is the god of war, of weapons, of military, and whatever, right? So anything
Is it
that's-
also related to the planet Mars?
Yes, right? Yeah. So the
Oh.
planet Mars, right, or the god of warfare, masculinity, weapons, military, was called Mars, right? So
Interesting.
anything that's martial is derived from military, which we get the word martial law. So military law that was imposed, right, is where we get
Interesting.
the word martial from. And the other COVID word that we commonly used was quarantine,
Quarantine. Yeah.
right? Quarantine in Korean was
방역?
방역, but there was another one. 격리? 격리?
Oh, yes. Yeah, I think it's 경리.
Right? Was it 격리 when we used it? Like 2주 격리. Yeah. It was 격리.
Was it?
Right? But the word quarantine
Yeah.
comes from Italian, right? Or Latin as well. It's 40 giorni, which means 40 days, literally.
40 days?
Yeah. And this one I learned a long time ago as well in one of my history classes is during the Black Plague, boats had to stay offshore and not dock for 40 days, right? To avoid the plague going around, right? So all boats that were meant to dock, and so it came from Venice, right? Where all these traders would come,
Interesting.
and they had to wait on their boats.
Yeah.
And that's where they died mostly,
Yeah,
right? Over those 40 days. But
Yeah.
it literally means 40 days, stay ashore, and
Yeah.
then you come in to avoid the disease, right? So that's where we get the word quarantine from.
So
right?
interesting.
And then last one is salary, the monthly salary. So what we call
I think I know what that one is.
yeah. Do you want to have a guess of what that was?
I know that it's like either like Greek or Latin origin. Sal meaning salt.
Yes. Yeah.
It's like Roman soldiers would like get paid by salt or something.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the word sal
Yeah.
literally means salt.
Yeah.
And Roman soldiers, because salt was so valuable a long time ago, they would get paid in salt, or
Yeah.
they would get paid to buy salt, right? And so that would happen on a monthly or a certain interval basis, and then that's where we get the word salary from, right?
Interesting.
So there are so many of these like Latin-based, and once you understand how either Greek or Latin, or how hanja or Japanese
Yeah.
kind of has its roots in either English or Korean,
Yeah.
it really kind of accentuates your understanding of the language a lot more, right? And so I thought that was very kind of, those are the 4 words I kind of thought about in terms of like words that Koreans kind of recently have used, right? But there are so many. Like I would say 90% of English is probably based out of one of these.
Can I tell you one very interesting word that Koreans use, but it's used so incorrectly, but somehow became like a
Oh,
culture.
there's so many of these. Okay.
I don't think this was so interesting to me. I think this is a French culinary term called consommé.
Consommé.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
It's a type of broth.
Yeah.
I learned.
Okay.
Where you like boil whatever beef or brisket
Yeah,
for a very
yeah.
long time,
Yeah.
and then you make it into a very clear broth.
Okay.
Right? And that broth has a very specific taste. It's very savory and like probably like 고소해. And it's used in a lot of like flavoring of snacks or whatnot. And when like chips are imported to Korea, it was called like consommé 맛, right? consommé 맛, right?
Okay.
Which is like correct, right?
Yeah,
consommé.
yeah.
But Korean people started thinking it was related to corn because it had the word kon in it. And then it evolved to snacks actually
Yeah,
using consommé flavoring, but referring it to 옥수수 맛.
Ah.
It actually has nothing to do with the corn flavor.
Yeah.
But people
Yeah.
started thinking that this is a corn
so
flavor.
So interesting.
And whenever you see consomme in like a snack, it will have an illustration of a corn. But it actually has nothing to do with corn.
That's so okay. While you said that, I have another one.
Yeah.
That I think it's so commonly used here in Korea, but it is so incorrect in terms of what it actually means.
Oh, I kind of.
It's French.
Oh, then there's something.
Oh,
different.
okay. It's 마지노선.
Oh, Maginot. Yeah.
So La Ligne Maginot is literally a fortified place, and during World War One, it was just a standstill, right? So it wasn't like the last line, right? But it was just basically a very standstill. And so what happened is like the Germans had to kind of go around it in a way. 마지노선 in Korea ends up being the boundary line.
Yes.
Right? So like whereas in its original context it's just a standstill, right? So like yes, to a certain extent that is a boundary line, right? But here like I feel like 마지노선 is used like 그게 마지노선이야. Like that's my limit.
Yeah.
You know, like
but wasn't it like the defense line?
It was a
II?
defense line, right? I mean like it did fall eventually, right? But I don't know. I just kind of feel like it's just very incorrectly used because it was just a like fortified line that they just couldn't cross, right? But then the way the Koreans use it, it's just like my boundary is up until here, right? Whereas in like yes, because the line fell, the war kind of happened in that kind of way, but I don't know, I just kind of feel like it's kind of misused in a way.
I bet a lot of Korean people don't even know that Maginot is like a French like an actual, is it a city or a region?
I think it's just the fort. So
the fort was called Maginot.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
So basically after World War One, they created this fort, right? And so the Germans had to kind of go through Belgium to invade France during World War II.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not the straw that broke the camel's back kind of thing, right? Which is another common English phrase that we use, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what was one that you were talking about?
Oh, I was gonna talk about how Korean people use the word TMI.
Yes.
Because
right?
there's a very different nuance in which we use TMI in Korea and the way that they use it in the US, right?
Right.
Like obviously TMI meaning too much information, but like I think Korean people just literally understand that in the way that it's just too much information.
Right.
Whereas in the US it's more like something that you really didn't want to know, but they're sharing it with you.
Right.
Sometimes like very involving something very sexual.
Right.
Or like something very private that you don't really want to know.
And it's often said by the person who hears it.
Yes.
Right? Whereas in here it's like, this is TMI, but right? Your TMI in there, and then they just offer you the information, right?
I think the Korean like correct equivalent of that would be like 안 본 눈 삽니다, or like 안 들은 귀 삽니다.
I don't know what that means.
Oh,
yeah.
It's like if you see something that you really didn't want to see, they would say 안 본 눈 삽니다.
삽니다.
Yeah.
Like you buy.
Who wants to sell
things that
eyes that haven't seen this?
That is so funny. Okay. Yeah.
More. I mean, 안 본 눈 삽니다 is more common, but like 안 들은 귀 삽니다.
Oh, that's so funny. Okay, hold on. I'm gonna write down too. 안 본 눈.
Yeah.
안 본 눈 삽니다. So it's like, shit, why did I see that? Okay, I need a new pair of eyes.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right? Okay. I thought 안 본 눈 삽니다 or 안 들었던 귀 Or another very common word is 한장 끝 차인가?
한 끗 차이.
한 끗 차이.
Yeah.
Right? It's like the I was trying to think about the English equivalent of it as well, right?
It's like a fraction of a difference, right?
Yeah, right?
You know where the word good comes from?
No.
It comes from the. Have you seen the movie 타짜?
Oh yeah.
The main theme of 타짜 is this game that they're playing with hatu, and the game is called 섰다,
섰다.
where you compare like the combination of two cards has like a tier. So it's like very simple. You just it's like a stupid game where you just like get you get two cards and compare and then you bet, right? And that like I think that 1 point up is called a 끝.
한 끝.
Yeah. So it's like
I thought it was like 티끝.
티끌.
티끝. That's good.
Yeah.
Because you know there's that like 티끌이
티끌 모아 태산.
모아 태산된다, right?
Yeah.
It means like the aggregation of small things ends up being like a big thing, right? I also thought that was 티끝.
Oh, it's 티끌. Yeah.
See, like things like this, like then like I'll go and try to use it somewhere, right? And then fail miserably, and then people will laugh at me for it. But this kind of goes back to what I was kind of thinking about, what Daniel referred to in the last episode, where he talks about his kids showing their work, right? And like it's important for you to like show your work and like prove how you got there, like the process. And you were saying how that the Koreans just kind of usually just want the right answer, right? So it's more important being right than the process itself.
Yeah.
And I think that that's very true once it comes to speaking languages as well. Like, like if you like, I have friends who want to learn English, but who are unwilling to speak to me in English because I'm better, and they don't want like. I think that there's like a hurdle or there's like a step of courage that's needed for them to go and like be vulnerable and fail, right? But that's the only way that you learn language, right? So like when I write these down, I'm probably gonna go use this somewhere or like try to find a context to use it, right? And I think that that's where I kind of learn a lot, right? Whereas in, you know, like I would teach a common phrase or something to a friend, right? Like the final nail in the coffin. That's like a very common phrase that we use, right? And they will just never use it, right? And then later they'll be like, "Oh, would this have been the right context for me to have said?" Like this? And I'm like, "Why didn't you just say it then?" Right?
Yeah.
But I do find like Koreans are about the result, right? A lot, right?
Or it's also has to do a lot with 눈치 culture.
Yeah.
Like they don't want to be judged. I mean, no one wants to be judged, but like it's more to an extreme. I think Korean people. There's so much 눈치. Like they don't want to seem inferior.
Right.
And another interesting phenomena that I see from Koreans in the workplace is that whenever someone new comes in, they very commonly say this. After some meeting, they would come up to me and say like, I had like so many questions, but I didn't know if I was saying this or asking this just because I didn't know about things. So I just didn't ask.
Right.
But I'm like, it's so natural that you don't know this. Like you just joined like a month ago, right? Why didn't you just ask, right?
Right.
But I think that's like, I know that it comes from a sense of 배려 as well.
Yeah.
Like trying to what's 배려? Like considering others, right?
Yeah.
Because they don't want to waste others' time when everyone knows this, and I'm like this new person who just asks these dumb questions. But I think because of that 눈치, sometimes they're like very good questions that could have been asked, but just like they just don't because of that 눈치.
Yeah.
So I think that's a loss. Yeah.
I think obviously we could kind of go into this a bit more depth next time, but it's just, you know, yeah, I feel like there are certain things or like the fear of mistakes, right? And that probably comes from performance culture anyway,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so, um, uh, yeah, but then I think that that's where that comes from. 빨리 comes from that, right? And then always having to be right. So then, yeah, not asking questions, right? You know, I mean, there are. I still believe that there are no stupid questions, right? Actually, you know what? I was in a meeting and I introduced myself, and someone asked me, "Hey, is that your Korean name?" And I'm like, "Okay, there's a line between stupid questions, and that was a stupid question." So,
Because it's obviously very Korean sounding.
yeah, right. Just like, okay, guys, there's no stupid questions, and then someone asked me that question. I'm just like, that was a stupid question, right? But yeah, I mean, there are things like that. Another thing that I was kind of thinking about was in Korea, there seems to be a lot of things that people say out of, um, like I think it's just ingrained in our culture to say it. So, so my cousin was saying this. He was like, I went to the dentist, and after he went to the dentist, they were like, oh, 고생하셨습니다, right? And he's like, I just sat there. Like, you're the one that did 고생,
Yeah.
right? But I feel like there are a lot of terms like that,
Yeah.
right? That we just kind of like 빈말, right? It's just like kind of empty words in a way, right? That we
But
kind of throw around.
we did mention this term in some of our previous episode where I think I really don't. I was specifically referring to an example where I went to like a company offsite, and so like the whole day we were just having fun, right? Like the quote unquote recreation.
Yeah.
Like 강사 came
Yeah.
and did like those games and
Yeah,
stuff. Like
yeah.
it was like a lot
It
of
was
fun.
Yeah.
And then as we come back as we part from the bus, everyone was like 고생하셨습니다. And it felt all of a sudden so odd to me. Like
Yeah.
there was no 고생 involved here.
Yeah.
We just like had so much fun.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
why is it
yeah.
so much 고생?
Yeah.
And I think that mentality is I don't know which came first. Whether the language came first or the mentality was there 1st, but like I think Korean people tend to think that a lot of things are 고생 when it's
Yeah.
actually not.
Yeah.
But if you start thinking that it's 고생, it becomes 고생. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I really don't want to use the word 고생하셨습니다.
Yeah.
But then I also learned that 수고하셨습니다 technically is supposed to use from someone. It's basically you can't use it to someone higher than you. Did you know this?
No.
So
No.
a lot of Korean people don't know this as well.
Yeah.
But technically, it's something that only like a higher person can say to a lower person. So you don't say 수고하셨습니다 to
Like your boss.
your boss. So then like there's no other alternative that I can use here.
I
So
did not know that.
so
That's so fascinating.
So I do tend to use 고생하셨습니다, but that I don't like that like mentality that's
Right,
ingrained
right.
there. Yeah.
Do you think that comes from like a slavery master relationship?
In Korea.
Yeah.
That-
수고.
Oh,
수고하셨-
수고? I
yeah.
don't know. I'm pretty sure it's a Chinese word.
Okay.
I don't know. There must be something related to it. But anyways, I
Yeah.
know for a fact that it's something that you shouldn't use to someone's higher than you.
Ah, that's so interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. See, like that I didn't know because
Yeah.
I mean we. So then the terminology 수고하셨습니다
Yeah.
is just 존댓말 to just like stranger, right? Because you would never use it as an honorific.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so interesting. See, like things like this.
Yeah.
It's very gets you into the culture, right? Or not, right? I had this one funny story. You know when elevators get filled, right?
Oh yeah.
Did I ever tell you the story?
No.
And it says 만원,
Yeah.
right? So there's this old building in my dong, and on the 6th floor there's a golf course, a golf place.
Yeah.
And this was during COVID, and so I brought my golf bag and I was trying to get into the elevator, and this 아저씨, like he just said 만 원입니다, right? And like he wasn't to be fair, he wasn't like the person in the elevator, right? He was like a security guard or just like someone who he's like, oh, 만 원이에요, right? And so I was like, do you have to pay to go? And like, it's 만 원 to use this elevator. So I walked up for like 3 weeks, right? And then
That's the funniest.
because like for me, like I've heard the terms like 만석, right? Or yeah, or like 만석 will be like the term that I will be familiar with.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's a full flight, right?
Yeah.
And so like for me, I didn't know that 만 원 would be it's filled with people or whatever, right? So I thought if it was to be like that, it would be like 만인 or something, right? Like to signify that as people. But he said 만 원, so I was like, oh my gosh, like
And it's on the
right?
6th floor.
Yeah, right. So like I walked with my golf bag for like not 3 weeks, but at least 3 times, right? Thinking that I had to pay, and then this other
so
time,
hilarious.
we when we go on missions, right? We'll go on to missions, and we'll get our schedule, right? And so the last time I went on a farm mission was over to Kenya, and our team leader shared our schedules, and you know we have 조식, 중식, 석식,
Yes.
right? It's breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and so I knew the concept of 조식 because
Of hotels. Yeah.
right? Like you know,
Yeah.
breakfast at hotels, we'll call it 조식. I never knew 중식 or 석식, right? I'll always go 점심 or 저녁,
Yeah.
right? So on the schedule, it was just 중식, right? Between 12 to 1.
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
was like, we're going to Kenya, we're having Chinese food 5 days in a row. Right? So I remember I asked, and they're like, oh, 이럴 때 진짜 외국인이다.
But you know what's interesting?
Yeah.
The Chinese character might be the same.
It is.
Yeah.
It is, right?
Yeah.
So like for me, yeah, because 중식 literally
Yeah.
means center,
Yeah.
right? And China is a central kingdom,
Yeah.
right? So for me, I was like, my gosh, are we having Chinese food, right? I was like, there must be a really good Chinese food in Nairobi. Right? But then it was funny because like on top of it said 조식,
Yeah.
right? And like I knew what that meant, but then I didn't make that connection with 중식.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so so like on the schedule, so like there will be a lot of these things that I'll make mistakes on, right? Thinking that I'm so fluent and thinking I'm so like well integrated into the culture,
Yeah.
only to find out like I'm such an idiot. Right? So I remember that, and there's so many of these common episodes, right?
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, another word that the Koreans use that I hate is 이벤트.
Oh, event.
Right? Like they'll just say like anything is an event, right? Like their proposal is an event, right? But you know,
Oh, yeah. They use it in a context where specifically they sometimes use it in a context within like couples.
yeah.
Or if someone, it's basically a surprise party, kind
Yeah,
of.
yeah.
Like if they prepare something.
Or anything that's out of the extraordinary,
Yeah.
right? Or sorry,
out of the ordinary. Yeah.
Um,
Would be an event too.
yeah, right. So, like at church, you know, when we have like different kind of formatted service, right? And they'll be like, oh, 이벤트 예배라고, right? And you're like, that's not how you use the word, right? So I do get frustrated about that. So many frustrations once it comes to this, but
I think sometimes Korean people they specifically use an English word for that to differentiate like a nuance difference.
oh, okay, interesting. So you're saying that like they could use the Korean or the English equivalent, but they choose the English equivalent to differentiate something.
Yeah. Like for instance, I think we already mentioned this in our previous episode, but in fashion, like when they're referring to colors, right? They rarely say like 빨간색 or 초록색, referring to clothing in fashion. They would say red or green.
Okay.
Because the nuance is a bit different. In this case, they want to sound more sophisticated.
Well, maybe it's an art thing because people will say art,
Art.
right?
Yeah.
So, or like curator,
Yeah.
right? So maybe it's like that old culture kind of thing, right? Which again, that's a French word.
Yeah.
Old, right? Old culture or à la mode, right? In fashion, right?
I don't know what
Oh,
that
à la
means.
mode it means just in trend.
Oh.
Right? Yeah, right? So if something's à la mode, right?
Ah.
Then it means it's like fancy or in trend, right?
Oh, do you know what demure means?
Huh?
Demure.
Oh, to me. Yeah, wasn't there like a whole Insta
Yeah.
TikTok thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think demure is just like
That's French, right?
yeah.
Has to
I don't know what it literally means in French, right?
Yeah.
But it is that sophisticated chic kind of.
But
right?
like old money kind of looking,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Not over the top, but very
Yeah, it's very demure,
yeah.
right? So like the first thing that came to
Subtle
mind is like
nuance, yeah.
Loro Piana. Do you know Loro Piana?
Yeah.
Right? Like they're not branded in any kind of way, but it's like old money fashion,
Yeah.
right? So like that would be demure.
Demure. Oh, so
right?
so Korean people are using it the right way.
I think the way that it kind of got viral,
Mm-hmm.
right, was like it's not like out there. It's not 화려해.
Yeah.
Right? It's not loud,
Mm-hmm.
right? But it's very like chic, kind of like hidden back.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Kind of like royalty,
Yeah,
right? Kind of thing. But I think it's interesting because Korea, like we like 화려한 things, right?
Mm-hmm.
We like things that stand out, right? And you see that a lot in like fashion or in things that that people carry around and stuff like that, right? So there's that, and then there was another thing that I was just gonna ask. Oh, the opposite, right? Of if we were to take out borrowed words, right, from English, for example, right? In 조선말, North Korean words, right? Do you know what like? Do you know
I
what?
know some examples.
Yeah, like
Because they intentionally
rarely not
use-
use English words,
yeah,
right? So jelly,
jelly
yeah,
in North Korean word.
yeah.
Wait, is it? Oh, is it not 우뭇가사리?
Oh,
No.
no, but it's close. It's 단묵.
Oh, 단묵.
Yeah, it's
oh.
sweet 묵,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, so 단묵, right?
Whoa.
Soda, then it's
단물.
단물,
Yeah.
right? Or pizza,
What's pizza?
or it's 기름빵.
Pizza is 기름빵?
Yeah, 기름빵.
Oh, it sounds so unappetizing.
Right? Yeah.
It means
or-
like oil bread, right?
Yeah. It means greasy bread.
Yeah.
Right. Or oiled bread. Yeah, and there are a few of these that are very Joseon, like North Korean, right?
Do you know what they call a light bulb?
I knew this. I knew it. I forgot. What was it?
It's 불알.
What? Explain.
불, obviously.
불알.
Yeah, 불알.
Wow. For those who are listening, it 불알 literally translates to fireballs.
Yeah.
Usually referring to the testicles.
Yeah.
불알. So if someone's a 불알 친구,
Yeah.
right? 불알
Testicle
친구,
friend.
yeah, it's like your best friend. Right?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like between males, right? Your testicle friends,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Or fireball friends. Yeah. So, what about shampoo? Do you know what shampoo will be in North Korea?
I have no idea. 머리 세제?
Very close. 머리비누.
Oh, 머리 비누.
Right? 머리비누,
Interesting.
Right? So, yeah. So it's things like this.
Yeah.
Right? That again, it's where you have a language that has evolved from external culture, and then you have a language that's just so isolated.
Yeah.
And they make an effort to not borrow words
Yeah.
and stay true.
Yeah.
Right. To the origins. Right?
You know what I find somewhat hypocritical in Korea, though I understand why it is so, is how they do quote unquote 언어 순화, they would say, like purifying language to words to Japanese words that Korean people use,
Oh,
but they have like no issue using English words.
Yeah, yeah.
For instance, like Korean government try to push so hard for people not to use like words like udon or odeng.
Odeng, yeah.
Yeah. Udon, they would call it karakguksu.
Karakguksu. That
Yeah.
one I haven't heard.
Also, karak meaning like, it comes from like 젓가락, right? Like the karak meaning like long, thin things, like stick. Karakguksu.
Karakguksu.
And then like, they would call omuk.
Omuk.
Yeah.
Yeah. The other way is
Yeah.
because I spent a lot of time with my grandma growing up. There were some words that she used that are Japanese that I thought were Korean, that I didn't know. A very good example is tamaneegi.
Tamaneegi?
Yeah, right? So
Yeah.
tamaneegi literally means onion,
Yeah.
right? But I didn't know that it was 양파 until later. And then I realized that 양파, 양배추, all these literally just means Western pa,
Yeah.
Western pechu,
Yeah.
right?
Western cabbage.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
cabbage, onion, right? Because we didn't have that.
Yangju,
Yeah, yangju, right?
meaning whiskey, right?
yeah,
Western
or
liquor.
Western liquor,
Yeah.
right? Whereas we call it 백주 mostly, right? Or 전통주, right? And so, yeah, I mean, I think for the audience too, right? Like once you start kind of learning some Korean or hanja, right? Then like it just accentuates your whole experience of understanding what you're reading, right? Yeah, and so I also thought that was kind of interesting. We were gonna do an episode about subway stations, right?
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Did you watch the YouTube video?
Yeah, I did. And,
Yeah.
and there are some that I knew, right? And then some that I didn't. Right? So I thought that'll be another very good one to do at some point. I feel like we covered a lot of grounds today.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Should we wrap?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Awesome. This is a part that usually Daniel does, but it's very awkward for me to do it. As always, if you like to support our podcast, please share with someone who you think would enjoy our content. And beyond that, you can support us financially through Patreon. So with Patreon membership, you get access to our exclusive Discord, where you can engage with our listeners, give us feedback on our episodes, and also propose future episode topics as well. And since last recording, we have one new Patreon, which is Rachel. So thank you, Rachel.
Thanks, Rachel.
Okay, I think that's a wrap.
Cool. Thanks for having me, Hyung.
Of course.
Yeah.
We would like to see more appearances.
Oh,
of
great.
BT.
Yeah.
Maybe in this format between
Yeah.
me and you. Maybe
Yeah.
between you and Daniel
Yeah.
sometime.
Or just whenever. Again, I will self-invite myself. And like I said, I think that these podcasts are great just to have good conversations with people. Yeah, and there's an Instagram handle called Grumpy Aliens that I feel like everyone should follow. They are so funny, right? It's just
What are they
those-
about?
Oh, it's just like foreigners who live in Korea and memes, right? Yeah. So I thought that was always kind of fun. Yeah, but thanks for having me.
All right.
Yeah.
Do you want to do the Korean wave?
Korean
you.
wave.
Bye. But I would run to like the 문방구 stationery, like a stationery store.
Yeah, yeah.
Are you okay, by the way?
I'm like dying.
Do you
Can
wanna
we
pause?
pause for a second?
Yeah,
Can you just
yeah.
go to the washroom for a second?
Yeah, sorry.
Sorry.
No.
Yeah.